Human calendar date, October 27th, 1793. Welcome to the train to Redamancy! Lynx here, of course. And we are continuing of this lovely, quite interesting story with various monsters that try to kind of learn about the world they live in. The sky brightens while I'm still lying here. I didn't sleep, of course. I closed my eyes a few times, but the fear of being attacked by one of the denizens of this train would overcome me. I don't think you need to be afraid of that. With the noise from the engine, I couldn't count on being able to hear their approach either. Okay, that's true. Probably. Probably very true, actually, given the fact that where you sleep is very close to the engine. I wanted to at least try to sleep this way, as other monsters do, but it seems I couldn't make it. They never attacked me, or maybe they could simply tell that I was awake and chose not to risk it. I hear the door at the end of the passage open and Alouette's tiny footsteps rush out. It was completely unnecessary to be so on guard if they were this noisy. Cinder! Good morning! When someone says good morning, you say good morning back. Good morning. Alouette skips off toward the back of the train. Maisie, Cinder stayed! She whispers. In her opinion, I guess, but I can still hear her. My hearing must be sharper than they're expecting. Is it because I have to hear over the noise of volcano in my daily life? I'm awake, Alouette. Needs to brush my teeth. I was going to do it. Alouette huffs off back down the passage. I see you stayed. I thank you. I thought today I will show you something. It shall help you understand what is good about the human world. There is a balcony, a deck or platform of sorts, out behind the train. That shall be a fine place for us to do it. Mary emerges from the passageway with an armful of sheets.
Oh, it's good to see you, mate. I've so much to show you.
My head feels light and aches, like it's full of smoke. It must be a lack of sleep. I bet. Yeah. I'm similar.
You can't read yet, of course, but the human world has such marvelous texts. I must read some to you, I must.
Do we have to choose between one or the other? He sets his armful of sheets down on the table, knocking one of the reading tools off. It strikes a chair and clatters to the floor, producing a sharp metallic peal.
Whoops!
Mary's deep voice booms through the train. Alouette marches back in, her feet rapping on the floor. Perfect weather for driving today, it looks like. Oh, I almost forgot. I need your picture for my monster compendium. My what? A blinding flash erupts from Alouette's face. Hey.
Ah!
The flash produces an instant pain in the back of my eyes. My head starts throbbing. I take a step back and nearly trip over something. The cat's cry scrapes at the insides of my ears. He wraps all around my feet, getting tangled underfoot. Alouette, that is rude! Merci. This will look great in my grimoire. Ha! Cinder?
Here, it is. I couldn't help but think of this passage when we met in the forest. Here, I'll read it to you.
Jesus. Cinder, I had something to talk to you about. Be quiet. Leave me alone, stop! I don't know where the exit is. Instead, I go into the engine room. I throw open the cover for the firebox and crawl inside. Tick, 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 tick. The pipes are in the way of exiting the way I came in yesterday. I'd have to melt myself like I did before, but I don't feel up to it right now. This place is hot. Too hot for any of them to come in and bother me. Hot. What a terrible word. It was invented by someone with no perspective. For me, this heat is normal. Yet someone saw fit to build into language itself that this environment is abnormal. I thought language was for me because I have the anatomy to make it, but it's clear it was invented by someone different. I need sleep. I've hardly ever experienced this. I've never had to fear for my safety when sleeping. Nothing could ever touch me in the heart of the volcano. The heat and the low rhythmic noises of the engine are soothing. It is, in a lot of ways, like the volcano. The train has a burning heart. Like me, it's a comforting thought. Does it ever grow annoyed with its riders? Does it resent having to carry them around? Is it irritated at how they cough and yelp and recoil when they find it's hard too hot? I open my mouth to ask, but I understand instinctively it won't answer. How stupid that I should want to communicate after such a trouble and bother as this language has brought me. If I have such thoughts, isn't because I want to find others like myself. The lack of sleep is making me think nonsensical thoughts. I lie down in the back of the engine and close my eyes. It's safe here. Sometime later, I don't know how long, there is a quiet rapping the firebox cover.
Cinder, are you still there?
Without thinking, I get up and the cold shifting and rolling off of me provides an answer I didn't mean to give.
Worry not, I shall not come in. I cannot anyhow. I wanted only apologize. Say I am sorry.
Ah?
When I first came aboard the train, I wanted not to be touched or spoken to either. I wouldn't ask me with food, and for that alone did I stay.
Like me then.
I would do well to remember what it is to be plucked from one's previous life, even if it was a change that I wanted. I remember not those days clear. It was many years, I think, of wandering this world preying upon the spirits of other monsters. Only 1 year have passed since I came to the human world, yet these memories have filled me complete and scarce do I recall my previous decades.
Another voucher. Yes, that would be what it's called. Yet the experience has chuffed on my nerves, doesn't that mean?
This not without its problems. Merus pecketh to me unkind on occasion, I would want death, something from you while I'm breathing. But nor was my previous life without problems, is it not so?
The ghost had been the quietest and least irritating of the residents here. She didn't pepper me with complex words. Yeah, she seems like the most understanding overall. So I didn't ignore what she's saying.
We shall pass by the other volcano by the Noro. May I ask you to hold to until then?
Maybe I won't leave immediately. I'll think more on this business after I've slept.
I say this because, well, this is what I would have appreciated hearing when I was where you are. If you aren't interested still in the happiness of the human world, I shall wait on the balcony for you.
As a ghost, Maisie doesn't make any footsteps, so I can't hear if she's gone. I peek out of the cover. The engine room is empty. I'm still tired, so I crawl to the back of the firebox and close my eyes again. I'd go to the balcony. No dreams visit my sleep. The stress and foreign environment probably still I've rested. I push open the firebox cover and step out, feeling refreshed. From the view out of the engine room window, I guess it's more than halfway through the day already. I wonder why always our ghost girl appears when we kind of switch like a location, I would say. Must be a little bit of a bug, I guess. The main room is empty. Nobody's here. Then I see Meru in the passage.
Oh, Miss Cinder, you've returned.
I guess so.
I realize I had something to speak with you about, but it can wait a little while.
He backs away from me. I'm still warmer than most creatures are comfortable with from the engine.
I think Alouette was looking for you in the cap. If you walk past me down this corridor, you'll reach the cap.
Alright. I can take Maisie up on her offer, or go see if Alouette will explain to me what this is all about. Oh. In a way, I hope we can do both. I think we are going with Maisie, to be honest, for. Yeah. The door at the back of the train doesn't open no matter what I try. Thankfully, Maisie sees me from the other side and opens it herself.
You came, I'm glad.
Unlike the closed space of the rest of the train, this is open. I can see the places we've been receding away from us at the train as the train moves forward. The train is passing over some kind of shallow lake. The water spreads out beneath us, about the height of my ankle. I try for a moment to spot my old volcano or the forest we came from. There are so many mountains and trees, it could be any one of them. I can see the rails the train runs on clearly from here, dissipating into sparkling points of light after we've left them behind.
I thought that we could do something many human girls do. Alouette did it with me as well when I first arrived.
What is it? Instead of answering, Maisie bends down to recover a small package from the deck. She carefully opens it and inside are flowers. It takes me a moment to recognize them as such by their shape. All the flowers I've ever seen were dull and dusty, at home in this world of grey and red. Huh? These must be flowers from another world. Their stems are vibrant green and blooms with colors I've never seen.
Hast you ever seen flowers such as these?
No, never.
I thought not. The flowers from the human world grow far brighter than the ones here.
I tried to mention a world where these flowers could survive safely. It must be full of color, compared to here.
But before I could even speak, Alouette took me out here to make crowns out of these.
Crowns? For your head?
Yes, I think you should understand soon. But...
Maisie looks pointedly at me.
Your hands are so hot. I fear you shall burn the flowers trying to handle them.
I mean, I came out of the engine just now, so...
This little wonder then.
Looking how Maisie wraps her hands around mine.
Ghosts have a deathly chill. As I'm sure you can tell, this should cool you enough.
It's a strange feeling. It's the first time something alive has touched my hands. I can feel each and every tiny motion she makes. As she says, she's so much colder than anything else I've experienced, it takes me a while to even register this sensation as cold. Huh. But won't she get burned? Still? She places 3 of the flowers in my hand. I'm cool enough that it doesn't burn.
Sit down here and I shall teach you how to braid this together.
Maisie places 3 flowers side by side.
Simply lift the right one and put it in the middle. Then bring the left one over the rest. No, hold them down at the top, I forgot to mention.
Maisie makes it look easy. I've hardly ever had to handle such small objects, and holding them together in such a tiny arrangement is difficult. My fingers don't want to cooperate. In the end, I have to simply pin them all down with one hand and carefully pinch at the ones I want with 2 fingers on the other. I can do it smoothly like Maisie.
Once you hast made about the width of a flower blossom, you shall need the next one.
My hands are the same as Maisie's, but she's used them in a very different way. So this is what's required to create. The beds, the engine, everything. It involves more than braiding flower stems too.
You need Snowfield bit. I was much the same when I first came.
Really? You do it well now.
I could not even speak. It was like a dude to understand Alouette's instructions after many tries. You are far better than I was at speaking.
Oh, good?
You need only practice.
I do my best to keep going with the flowers. I guess if I want to figure out if this whole train thing is for me, I could do worse than asking someone who was in my position before. What should I ask? Why did you go to the human world? Why should I go to? What was your life like? Let's go first question. When did you go to the human world?
I felt there was something amiss in my life. For I could not express myself, I felt that it was so.
Something amiss?
Perhaps you can't relate to the feeling.
I can't. That's exactly what I've been thinking. As always. Why should I go to the human world?
This is a question I may not be able to answer for you. There are many things the human world can provide that cannot be found here. Of course, the beauties of love and friendship, but also simple and peaceful existence, free of struggle.
I wouldn't say that.
It is difficult here to avoid fighting for one's life day by day.
My life here isn't hard. Nothing wants to eat me.
You are lucky indeed by the standard of this world then. Still, there are other benefits the human world can provide. If you linger here, you shall see whether they are to your taste, I think.
Okay, and what was your old life like?
Unpleasant. Of course, I understood this not when I was living it. I spent many years hunting the spirits of other monsters. I had some ghosts cross over to the human world, but I never found a way. When I saw Alouette, my first thought was how tasty her spirit looked. Then she spoke to me and my world expanded.
And I'm done.
I almost done.
I'm not. I've barely put on a second flower.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have considered that there is a need for such dexterity in the wild. Oh,
I would say dexterity is needed in general, but well, maybe not for making flowers, crowns.
However, you speak very well. I'm sure there are persons that shall come easily to you.
I set down my flowers for now and let Maisie continue. I stared out over the lake. It's an unsettling sight for a creature of fire such as me. The train leaves behind two orderly diagonal lines in the surface of the water in its wake. There is something satisfying about seeing the lines form and then disappear into the distance.
Here, look!
Maisie places the flower crown she finished on my head.
Oh, you look so darling!
I can't really see.
Oh, this should be perfect. Look over the side in the water's reflection.
Maisie looks off the back of the train and finding the water too disturbed by the train's passing takes me to the side instead.
Look!
I look off the side of the train. I can see myself in the water's reflection. I've hardly ever seen my own face like this. Not wanting to be near water, I've mostly used the reflection in flat crystal faces. The flower crown sits on my head, its brilliant colors woven in with my red hair. Oh, it's... Too bad that it's not been added over here in the dialogue box, right?
Somehow it's nice to look at. Oh! Yes, is it not? Such beauty is everywhere in the human world.
I wonder why I care what I look like. Occasionally, from my mountain view, I've seen beasts ramping and dancing for each other in the sky, part of their mating customs, I think. Perhaps this triggers the same instinct in me. When I get better, I might try this again.
I would be happy to teach you anytime.
Is there something else to try?
Perhaps I can come up with something. However, I believe Alouette was looking for you in the cap.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Hehe.
Alouette should be cross if I keep you. The cap is at the other end of the train, the front.
I'll find it.
I shall remain to clean this up. Very well.
I open the door and head back in the train. Meru's still there. Where's the cap?
Just past me. The door at the end there.
I continue the passage as Meru directed. He's still busy rummaging in some compartments in the passage. The door to the cap is shut and it doesn't move when I push or pull on it. This is a problem. The engine room door is always ajar for me.
Grab the knob there and twist it. That will release the door so you can move in. That yellow thing near your hip. Oh, you've got it.
I push the rope and enter the cab. The first thing that strikes me is the large window opposite me. It faces forward so I can see where the train is headed. The sense of speed looking out the front window is incredible. Looking out the side at distant train doesn't compare at all. I turn on to pay attention to the view. It makes me dizzy. Just a little bit. In front of the window is Alouette. Turned away from me. She stands at an enormous panel full of little sticks and circles and lights. Hello.
Oh, Cinder, I'm glad you came. I have so much to tell you about us. But first, I should say I'm sorry. Meru says I got overexcited.
I mean, he also was very excited.
I've never seen such a good reading from a monster before, and I forgot my manners.
I wonder if she puts on the glasses when she's a bit embarrassed.
Sorry.
The same words Maisie used. The desire to keep getting along with someone after you've wronged them. Well, I'll forget it. I want to hear what this is all about.
Right, of course. Oh, careful there. Don't get too close to Meru's sarcophagus, or I'll never hear the end of it.
Meanwhile, I thought that was your fridge.
It's a sarcophagus. Okay. Whoops.
Sarcophagus.
That big red box behind you. Meru sleeps in it. He cares about a lot, so be careful. Anyway, I'm a witch, like I said. Every year around Halloween, I make the trip here to find new friends.
Halloween.
It's a special day for humans, but it's the time when this world and the human world are close together enough to make the trip. I'm from the human world, but all my friends are monsters. My witch teacher too. She doesn't look like me, all green skin and warty.
Are you a human?
There are so many amazing monsters in this world, but the human world does have one special thing. It lets us be friends, so I have to go back there. C'est la vie.
What does that even mean? I don't speak French.
You better ask Meru. It's pretty complicated.
Is there something bad about the human world? Oh, a lot. In 21st century especially.
Did I let it slip? Well, it's okay. We stay in our home in the haunted woods and nobody bothers us there. Hehehe. The humans there, none of them want to be friends. Not really. Monsters are much better.
But aren't friends from there?
Yeah, but you know, since they have it all the time, I think they don't appreciate that. Like how you'd never know how cold it was if you never left your volcano.
That I can understand. I never missed the warmth so much as this morning.
They're crazy. They fight so bad. They build these big machines just to take other people's heads off.
Actually, in 21st century, that's something that should make a return. Exactly those big machines that take other people's heads off. Western Europe, wake up! Anyway, what does that do?
You die. Anyway, that's why Hazel and I, everyone else, just keep to ourselves. Don't worry about the humans. We never see them at home. There are more monsters to meet too. Besides Meru and Maisie, there are 6 more waiting at home.
I hadn't noticed the cat, curled up on a bed in the corner.
And you too, Shakshul, I didn't forget.
Alouette hops down from her place at the panel to scratch under the cat's chin. On the tables on this wall are a number of books and strange trinkets. They give me the same feeling I got from seeing ghosts in the wild. A fear of unnatural forces I don't understand. Magic, I think it's called. A witch's practice. She's preoccupied with the petting of the cat, but I have questions still.
What should I ask?
I mean, we'll probably ask all the questions anyway. Did you make this train?
I sure did. Well, Hazel and the other monsters and I together. It was a lot of work after all. The design is from the human inventors, but I think we beat them to actually making it. They should stop being stubborn and use magic in their designs too. Before we made it, I just had to walk into the world of monsters on foot. We couldn't go very far in, and it was hard to bring anyone back with us. But training helps keep us safe too.
Imagine.
Being able to bring home with us makes such a difference. Doesn't it, Xulu?
What do you want from me?
Ah, nothing bad. Just looking for you to join our little family.
Family. But we are not related.
Family can be more than just your parents and such.
So true. So true.
Don't worry. There is no pressure for you to do us any big favors or anything. Just eating our ash will be helpful enough. It's more about being there and getting along well with the other monsters.
You just get any monsters for that?
Not that random. We look for you since my scope says you'd make a good fit.
What about your real family?
Oh damn. They got their heads taken off. That's what everyone told me, at least. I was just a little baby. It's okay, for my monster family is so kind and loving. I would give them up no matter what.
I see. Why should I go to the human world?
Because over there you can live with the other monsters and they'll look out for you too. I'm sure you've seen. In here everyone is trying to eat everyone else because nobody knows any better. Do you know any other monsters that are like you?
Nope, never seen one.
Outside the ones humans are really scared of, a lot of species might only have a few people. They might live so far apart you'd never meet them.
The thought gives me a sinking feeling in my chest that I might never see another one like me.
Well, don't worry, we can look for others once we get you back.
But I have not decided yet, right? I'm done asking. The cat, tired of being petted, jumps off the table and trots out of the cab.
Ah, he's all petted out.
At other volcano you talked about.
We'll be passing near it tomorrow morning. We'll be curving around it for most of the day, so no rush to decide.
Alright.
It's a lot of new stuff to take in, I know, but I think you'll have fun if you spend some time with Meru and Maisie.
Already made flowery crowns with Maisie.
Oh, great!
It's nice to make things. I wonder what I could make at home.
Isn't it? It's one of the best things about the human world. Did you catch up with Meru? I think he was looking for you.
I'll see if I can catch him. I exit the cab to where I last saw him. Meru seems to have been waiting for me.
Oh, you've returned. At a good time too.
You want to read to me or something?
Actually, I had a bit of a favor to ask.
Favor? Something I can do?
Yeah, I think so. It concerns the food for myself and Mistress Alouette. You see, there is nobody else to turn to.
Is something wrong?
To tell you the truth, I'm quite embarrassed. It's gotten the point I just don't know what to do anymore.
I understand what you're saying, man.
What with everything Mistress Alouette has done for me? And still does for this train. And all of us monsters. It brings me great shame I cannot discharge this simple duty.
He's using the big words again, and none of it seems to be going anywhere.
Unfortunately, I even volunteered for it. In my eagerness to aid Mistress Alouette, I can hardly abdicate my responsibility now. What is a gentleman to do?
Will you tell me what it is already?
Yeah.
Meru raised his arm to show me.
It's these bandages, you see, and the embalming fluids. It's all rather flammable, you see.
Flammable?
Yeah, Mistress Alouette has entrusted me with the cooking, but I simply cannot abide flames near my person. It's far too dangerous. A single misstep and I'd be liable to go up.
Why don't Alouette or Maisie do it then?
Perish the fort! No! Mistress Alouette has far too much to do as it stands. And Maisie, well, I suppose she is ill-suited for physical tasks. I only just gotten the last shard of China out of my bandages from the last time she tried.
What?
I can hear thee, Mario. It's not as easy as to think as to handle things as a ghost.
Maisie has returned from the balcony, still standing at the door.
A single second of sleep focus, and they pass straight through me.
Yeah, well, I think the point is clear. We all have our foibles. You, however, Cinder, I think you would be a fine cook.
Because I can handle fire.
Oh yes, among other reasons.
What is this cooking? I can work it out in my head. There is too many other words.
Oh, cooking. At its most basic is the art of using heat and fire to improve food.
You knowest how most monsters eat the meat of the others?
Sure.
If meat is cooked with flame, it tastes better and can fill one's stomach better.
Really?
I suppose all of your food is quite burnt already, so to speak, so it would have been knowledge of little use to you. What do you say? Will you give cooking a try?
I know how.
That's no problem, I'll be right here to instruct you.
Maisie nods to me. I'll see what it does, yeah?
But let's begin. First we should light the stove. Oh, the most terrifying part. Observe the lower chamber of the oven.
Meru directs me to a large metal box with two doors, a large one up on top and a smaller down below. Huh.
Open up the lower chamber and set a flame on the wood within. A moderate flame, if you don't mind terribly.
To add some old school oven, by the way. I take a look inside. There is a pile of cut wood, as promised.
Small flame.
I make a small flame just enough to set the wood alight.
Good. That flame should be suitable. The dish we are making today is called bone cheese a la Ren'Py.
Is that not a bit complicated, Mario?
Perhaps, but I have put together much of the preparations already. We have yet the vol-au-vent pastries I made with Mr. Silhouette, and I have prepared the sauce myself. We need to only cook the filling.
So what are we doing?
We will use the stove to cook some mushrooms and chicken. Observe.
You know what? I find it maybe a little strange. But from what I've seen, I think around YouTube, people from various countries don't like mushrooms for some reason. People in Poland love them. I love mushrooms as well. Cute. Drop them on the pan. Get them done a little bit there. Nom 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 nom, tasty. Anyway, with a grand wave of his arm, Beru shows me some small containers full of something. The thing is to not, to cut them in slices as well. Don't drop entire mushroom onto the pan. Also, my leg is going numb. Holy crap.
Here are the mushrooms and chicken we'll be using.
The mushrooms I recognize now. I've seen fungus like this in the monster world. Far bigger of course, but the shape is the same. Chicken, my mind conjures an image of a smallish winged monster of some kind. A human world inhabitant? No doubt.
Let's chop them up while we wait for the stove to heat.
He knows what he's talking about. Beru hands me a strange implement that looks like a claw stuck on a stick. I can tell from looking it's terribly sharp. For Frenchies, Frenchies probably, like real Frenchies, I mean obviously, probably would like mushrooms as well, I feel like. Beru hands me a strange implement that looks like a claw stuck on a stick. I can tell from looking it's terribly sharp. What is this, monster claw?
No, it's a work of a human ingenuity. They make such sharp objects, we call them knives. Use that to slice the mushrooms and the chicken, if you would.
He may have to cut them into smaller pieces using that knife.
Oh, I see. I press the knife into the first mushroom. The knife rips right through it with barely any resistance. It's fearfully sharp. Even the sharpest monster's claw would struggle to make such an easy clean cut. I should be careful with this knife thing. How should I handle this? chunks, or... Let's get creative. The perfect flatness of the cuts intrigues me. It makes me wonder if I can make some interesting shapes. The mushrooms are a little too soft and tiny to make much out of it, but I spent some time making perfect cubes with Meru peruses his book. The chicken is better medium. I guess that this must be a large section of meat from this bird creature. You know what? I've never had to cut like entire chicken. I think I've never... I mean, I myself definitely have never bought an entire chicken. And I don't remember if anyone in my family in the past has ever done that. Honestly speaking, nobody has. You know, it's always buying chicken legs or chicken's breast. That's about it. And I see Maisie watching me curiously. On the whim, I try cutting a section of chicken roundly in a circle. It's rather irritating to get rid of all the chicken in the middle afterward. I have to set the knife on its edge and work all the way around. Yeah, understandable. Dealing with the bones in general is a pain. I think that's why I mostly eat chicken breasts and not really the legs. Cause I freaking really dislike the bones. It's better without. It's a fact. Maybe not in a way of flavor, but in a way of... I mean, then again, obviously chicken breast will taste a little different than chicken leg, but in a way of, you know, eating being annoying. The bones are annoying, basically. Anywho, I have to set the knife on its edge and work all the way around. Finally, I'm able to pull my handiwork free.
Whew, it's...
I look at Maisie.
Oh, a chicken crown!
Meru finally looks up from his book at Maisie's laughter.
What's going on here? Well, I suppose it's my fault for not instructing you. Just regular small pieces, if you would. No strange shapes.
Homer, for must learn to relax.
It didn't turn out quite like I was expecting anyway, so I don't complain to cut my work up into small pieces as instructed.
Now let's get ready to cook everything.
Meru takes down a large circular piece of metal from the wall and gingerly sets it on top of the stove.
Pour some oil from that vessel there onto the pan, carefully.
Oil? No. I don't use oil. For a while I used like something supposedly made specially for pans. But honestly, like, pancakes would turn out not very well because of that. So now I'm basically using butter. Butter is a good ingredient, yeah, for that. I rarely eat butter on its own, obviously. But I also don't use it with bread or... with bread, basically, so... or baguettes or whatever. But I do drop some onto the pan, yeah. Highly recommend it. It's a good ingredient. Also, like, if you want scrambled eggs, way better with butter. Anyway.
Pour some oil from that vessel there onto the pan, carefully.
Yeah, because it will sizzle. Vessel?
He meant the bottle, Fifa. The green thing there, beside the pan.
Green? Green. Oh, I see it. Green? Oh, no, it should be yellow. Meru takes it and twists off the cup before handing it to me. The cup could be green, thought with her. It's good that he did. I certainly wouldn't have figured out how to do that on my own.
Just a little. Pour just a little at a time.
Dude. So true. I tip bottle gently for just a small trickle to come out.
Good, that's the way, just enough to cover the pan's surface.
It spreads over the pan and not quite as quickly as water, it must be a little thicker. Yeah.
Let's put the mushrooms and the chicken in the pan. And I'll be warming a sauce over here that I prepared earlier.
Sure. The mushrooms and chicken sizzle pleasantly in the oil. I only heard this sound briefly before, when water contacted heated stones or lava. It's always over in an instant. It's quite pleasing to listen to continuously. True. My dog hates it for. I don't know why. My dog hates that sound.
How long do I do it? The bits of chicken should start to turn white, and the mushrooms when they get soft and a bit brown.
White, brown, huh?
The cooking process affects food in different ways, I suppose. Oh, make sure to push the pieces around from time to time.
I do so, and Meru jumps in surprise.
Ooh, oh, right. It's quite good. I meant with a spoon or some such, but you can do it barehanded. Of course, why not?
Huh?
Cinder, you leave us in such heat. Was there truly no cooking?
I eat lava, ash, and rock mostly. Not much need to cook.
And the beasts that dwell in this area simply eat the raw carcasses of their prey. If any monster uses cooking in the wild, we don't know of it. Well, apart from perhaps a dragon doing so unintentionally with its flame.
Dragon? The word conjuring a vivid image in my mind of a fire-breathing scale creature. Maybe with our shared liking for heat, we would get along.
We've never known them to live in this area. They tend to live deep in very high mountain ranges.
High? Is my volcano high?
Not nearly so high as these. They're so high, they disappear in the clouds.
Like the trees?
You have quite high trees in this volcanic region. I wonder if they are fertilized by the ash somehow.
Yeah, maybe.
Or perhaps they grow tall to exceed the height of the ash clouds for light.
Meru seems lost in thought for a while, muttering to himself. The food. It's turned two colors like you said.
Oh, yes, my apologies. If everything is all cooked, take it off the stove and we'll add the sauce. Just pour it in while everything's warm. Good. Now we need to only get the pastries out. Over here.
Meru opens the box in the wall. It's mounted right next to the engine, so it's warm inside. Inside is a sheet with many small breads on it. Unlike the ones I saw before, these are soft to the touch.
Now let us put our work into this.
Maisie hands us all spoons, and one for herself as well.
Oh, will you help, Maisie?
I can hold with a spoon at least.
I watched the two of them do it before I make an attempt. They use the spoons to scoop the cooked food into the breads. This all seems very elaborate just for eating. Humans must hardly need to hunt or evade predators to have this much time on their hands. Then again, thanks to my untouchable habitat, I'm much the same. I could use a few time wasters.
Mistress Alouette, it's dinner time.
Oh!
Alouette's shout comes from within the cup, but she bursts out within seconds.
What's for dinner?
Bushies Allerini.
I'm now curious if this is a real thing.
Come on, browser.
Bushies a la reina. Oh! Would be nice to not get a French website for. Interesting. Okay, so it's literally some sort of bread, and inside of it you plug the chicken with mushrooms in a sauce. Interesting. And it's 15 minutes work, but total 55. Okay. It's sort of like I don't know, if you are from Poland you would know of its existence. If you are from abroad you might not. Like, there is a restaurant in Poland that offers literally a soup inside of a bread. Quite cool. Anyway.
Oh, did you?
Not I. Cinder was gracious to cook for us.
Technically it was all of you. Come on.
Wow! Cinder's cooking?
If you want to call it that.
I'll bring it over to the table.
Meru carries the food to the table. Alouette lifts her arm and plates fly out of the cupboards and arrange themselves on the table on their own. Damn. This must be her witch's magic.
Come on, sit.
Hesitantly, I walk over the table. Meru has already served the food onto his and Alouette's plates.
Maisie and Cinders too.
But
Cinder should be able to eat human food at least. See how it tastes.
It won't be bad for me.
The readings look good. Don't worry. We'll bring you some coal afterward too.
For he looks skeptical as well, Meru drops one of the bread-wrapped treats onto my plate.
Let's eat.
I set the thing on my plate with doubt. This bouchées à la reine. A mixture of fungi, meat from a human world, bird, and a few different milk products, as the worlds are eager to inform me. The others use their tools to avoid touching the food, since it's too heated for them. I don't have such problems. I eat up with my fingers and take a cautious bite. I can almost spit it. I almost spit it out, but I stop myself. Some instinct stops me from wanting to do that. Thanks to my delay, I realize it's not because the taste is bad. It's just so far from anything I've put in my mouth before, I had to react. The bread is soft and fluffy. The sauce is perfect middle ground between the subtle taste of chicken and bold taste of mushrooms. None of it burns that well, so it won't fill me up very much, but it's delicious. I never have thought of eating multiple things at once to combine flavors like this. I ate what I found, right then and there. Never saving it up or collecting it. It was so plentiful, why would I? I had to think about gathering up different barnables at home.
Oh, Cinder, it's delicious.
I concur.
It is tasty.
Of course, Meru guided me, but unlike the flower crowns, I think I was able to do what I was told myself. I suppose pack animals must feel like this all the time. It feels nice to have done something for a group.
Good. Glad to hear that.
I received my real meal of coal shortly afterward. Coal has a rich and complex flavor, so I'm not dissatisfied. But I think about what I could do if I added in a pinch of ash, or magma, or wood chips. This could be some welcome variation in my life. Oh boy, she's becoming a chef.
Oh, hot food. It's been a while. Everyone, say thank you, Cinder. Thank you, Cinder.
Thank you, Cinder.
Ha.
It's getting dark, so it will be lights out soon.
Lights out?
When we shut off the lights of the train at night, it can attract monsters. The noise and the smell of the train keep away most land beasts. But one time we had lights on and suddenly swooped down on us.
Never again, I say.
So lights out it is.
Alouette snaps her fingers, and the train is plunged into darkness. Only the small half-light from outside remains.
You are by no means required to go to sleep right now. But you cannot do anything that requires the lights on.
You can just block the windows, huh?
We tried that, but those monsters, they have a real eye for it in the night. Even the tiniest peak is enough.
Save her to simply do this.
Maisie and I still have some luminance to us. I from my fire and Maisie, the ethereal light of a ghost. What about me and Maisie?
I shall dim myself, Alan. Canst you do the same?
I guess so?
It helps also to throw a blanket over yourself. Oh, I almost forgot.
Alouette carries into the cup. And then back out, holding sheets in her arms.
I fireproof these sheets like you asked, Maisie. Her bed too. Oh, excellent! Crawl under these in your bed, Cinder. They will help keep the heat in while you sleep.
Really?
Give it a try and you will see.
I feel like she could just sleep in the engine. She pushes the sheets into my arms.
Meru, can you help me plot the course for the night?
Oh, of course, Mistress Alouette.
They took her to the cup.
If we don't see you, good night. Good night!
When they've gone, I examine the sheets. Compared to the sheets Maisie took away last night, they seem toughened. They aren't damaged at all when I hold them to the hotter parts of my body.
You should try those sheets. Lay down and throw them over yourself.
Maisie drifts over to her bed and sits down with a book. I don't know how she can see it in such a darkness. Maybe ghosts can see better at night. Maybe. Also, I mean, You said it yourself, she illuminates overall, so maybe she illuminates just like a certain passage of a book. Nothing else. I took the sheets over to the bed I used last night and throw them over myself. Right away I can feel why the humans do this. Having something soft and flexible to fit over perfectly is something else. It's like being submerged in a lava flow. I never submerged myself to sleep normally if my head went under. I could suffocate, or I could wake up to the lava cooled and hardened around me. I schedule heat to warm up the space. It all stays in under the sheets. This really is comfortable. I'll have to take this back with me. I lie here for a long while. Thinking myself, I still don't want to sleep in this uncertain environment. In time, I hear a rustle of sheets as Maisie beds down as well. Had it been that long? I'll go crawl in the engine to sleep in a minute. In a minute. I have a dream tonight. A dream of the beginning of my life. My first memory. I'm buried under deep ash. I try to take my first breath, but I can't. I know instinctively I need to get out of this ash. Its wave is crushing on my back. I can't rise up at all. I thrash and claw my way forward through the loose grains and clumps of ash, climbing up in a panic. Bursting out the ash, I take my first breath under a bright daytime sky. The fire inside of me kindles and surges in the fresh air. I made my way up the nearby volcano to the warm environment. In the days that followed, as my instincts told me I swallowed ash and burnable material, I would simply see such things and want them in my mouth, and I would do it. It was an easy life. Nothing else lived in the caldera of the volcano, and there was more to burn than I could ever eat. Now and then I'd go back to the deep ash from which I was born. I'd think about how I was born. In the time, I saw other monsters, and the young of the night sea apparent with its babies and once a jealously guarded nest of white rocks. It was a small beast with a stubby furry head and a multitude of long eyes. When I returned later, the rock's eggs were gone and the little creature was with a litter of babies. Was I made the same way? Did something lay one of its eggs deep in the ash, and I hatched out of it? In time I thought not. The babies of the other monsters grew to full size. I never got any bigger. Was I born just because the ash became deep enough? The wave compacted the lifeless ash into a new form, like a crystal in the depths of the earth. I returned often to the place where I was born, a deep furrow in the rock where the ash could pile deep. I was here nearly any time I wasn't eating or sleeping, for it was exposed compared to the volcano's caldera. I wanted to be here. I wanted to see another like myself. Would one crawl out someday? Did one lay an egg down there that I hatched from? If so, where were they? For a long while, I'd bring an armful of ash to the place and pile it higher. Maybe if I piled up enough, another would be born at the bottom like me. No one ever were, even after I dug down to the bottom to see if anything had happened. In my dream, I'm digging again, to see the results of my experiment. For this time, I find something at the bottom of the ash. Flower crowns and bouquet à la reine. Ooh, interesting! I guess the dreams are telling you to go with them. Anyway, I think this is the moment we end it. And another day tomorrow. We'll see where this is all going. So far, interesting. Really, really interesting. Hope you enjoy as well. As per usual, consider liking, subscribing, and so on. Always appreciated. And most importantly, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.